Today our chapter is the books and what the books and burials tell us. So books, you know what does book means, okay? You know, and what does burial means, okay? Burial means the things that are buried, okay? All the archaeological things. Now humans will not live, right? So archaeological things which are buried, non-living things which are buried and they are stored for many days, preserved for many days, those are known as burials. No. The oldest book known all over the world is supposed to be the Vedas. So, what was the oldest book of the world? The Vedas. And what was that? Rig Veda, because Rig Veda was the first Veda to be written. They were written about 3000 years back. And the earliest literary source available. So, it is the earliest literary source available. Maybe there is something more prior to that, but then this one is known. Okay. Now, the Vedas. The word Veda means knowledge. So, what does Veda means? Knowledge. There are four Vedas: Rig Veda, Samaveda, Yajurveda, and Atharva Veda. So there are four Vedas: Rig Veda, Samaveda, Yajurveda, and Atharva Veda. The Rig Veda is the oldest Veda. It composed of about 3500. It was composed about 3500 years old. So this is the oldest Veda. Okay, it was written during the olden. It was written during the old Aryan period. Okay, early Aryan, early Vedic age. Okay, so the hymns have been composed by the sages. These hymns were recited and passed from one generation to another until they were written down. Means this Rig Veda, the hymns which are recited or written in the Rig Veda are more older than 3500 years. Okay, because they were passed generation to generation, and then many after many years they were written down. Okay, many decades they were written down. These hymns are in the praise of gods such as Indra, the god of warrior, okay, Agni, the god of fire, and Varun, the god of sky, and many others. These hymns praised gods, okay, okay, Indra, Agni, and Varun. How do historians study the Rig Veda? While studying the past, the historians examine written sources. So, during the study of the past, the historians studied the Rig Veda. They were examined various kinds of written sources. They studied the Rig Veda. Most of the hymns of the Rig Veda were written in the form of dialogues. Okay, you know what is dialogues? So historians studied these dialogues to arrive at conclusions. So historians studied all these dialogues and then they made up a society in respect of these dialogues. Rig Veda, what does it tell us about prayers and battles? Most prayers in the Rig Veda are for cattle. Means cattle was an important thing for the Aryans. Children, okay, children, everyone, it's important for everyone. And horses. Horses was also important for them. Horses were yoked to chariots and used in battle. So what were horses used to? They were yoked in chariots and used in battles. Battles aim to capture cattle, land, pasture, water, and people. So, what was the battle for? To capture kingdoms? No. During the early Vedic age, we had battles to capture cattle, okay? Land, pasture, water, and people. A portion of wealth was used for performing yajnas or sacrifices, okay? In which offerings were put into fire for gods, including ghee, grains, and rare animals. So, all this ghee, grain in the yajna, gods offered ghee, grains, and rare animals. How were they offered? They were sacrificed, okay? Now, political life. The Vedas even tell us about the political life of this stage. Okay? The head of the state was called Raja. So, who was the head of the state? Raja. Raja had no capitals, palaces, army, or right to collect taxes. Only the Raja used to make laws. Okay? Nothing else. He didn't had capital, didn't had palaces, didn't had armies, or right to collect taxes. He was also a farmer. Okay, or anything else as farming was the main occupation of those people. That's why I told you. Okay, agriculture, cattle rearing, chariot making, pottery, jewelry making, tanning, and metal work were all the major occupations. So agriculture, farming, cattle rearing, shepherds used to do it. Okay, chariot making, okay, chariot in which battles were used to fought. Okay, pottery, pots making, jewelry making, okay, with metals that were available in those days. Gold was also available, okay, and metal work were the main occupation. Now, dasas and dashus. Okay, while Aryans composed Vedas, another group of people opposed to the Vedas. Okay, Aryans composed Vedas. Okay, another type of people who lived in India during that time, they opposed the Vedas. They were not in the Vedas. They were called dasas or dashus or slaves. Dasas means they were slaves. Whatever their masters used to tell them, they used to do. Dashus means they were the pirates, or pirates was not there. Okay, they were the robbers. Okay, etc. All the antisocial things they used to do, as written. Okay, but then in the later part of history we see that they also rose to a revolt. That why we will do that, we'll see during the Buddhism and Jainism only. Okay, so archaeologists assume this part is very important. So archaeologists assume that the objects discovered with the skeleton probably belong to a dead person. Okay, so objects discovered with a skeleton, as the archaeologists thought in the Egyptian world also, the things that were given to the skeleton belong to that dead person. In Brahmagiri, a skeleton was buried with 33 gold beads, 2 stone beads, and 1 conch shell, whereas other skeleton only had a pot. That means the skeleton which was buried with those gold and silver, he was the king or he was a wealthy man, and the others were poor. Okay, poorer. This shows the difference in status amongst the main people who buried. Some were rich while others were poor. Okay, some megaliths have more than one skeleton. Megaliths mean burial grounds, okay? Tombs, okay? So it indicates that the people belonging to the same family were buried at the same place at different times. So the people who lived in the same family were buried at the same place. Okay, same megalith at different times. Okay, when they were dead. Special burials took place in the Imagaon. So, so who was used as food? Animals were used as food. And skeleton studies tell us a better way of identifying dead bodies. Whose dead body are skeleton studies tell us.